Good morning, YouTube. Or I don't know what time it is where you're watching it, but it's about 10:30 out here downtown Houston, Texas. As you can see, we got my 2021 zx6r chilling in this dirty ass parking lot next to Minute Maid. Got the beautiful skyline back there though. So I just want to give y'all an update what's been going on with my bike. And obviously y'all know sorry, that truck right there. Obviously y'all can see the couple of bolt-on mods that I've been doing to it. If you've been paying attention to the channel, you've already been kept up to date with that as well. But I also just want to give y'all how I'm feeling with this bike after owning it. This is my third bike. I am kind of slightly, there's nothing wrong with the bike, I am kind of wanting something new. With that being said, I still never plan on getting rid of this bike. I'm gonna try to dog it to as long as I can. But for those who haven't watching, we got the M4 slip-on, as you can see right here, the GB Racing engine covers, we got the frame sliders, the fork sliders, we got some bar ends, we got the TST Industries delete, fender delete, as well as the smoke tail light. Took all my stickers off. I really didn't like that lime green. So what else is there? I still have not gotten my steering dampener, guys. Obviously, for those who have been paying attention, you know I've been complaining about a steering dampener. And I still haven't gotten my ECU flash. I'm actually having a little bit of problems with my bike. It's kind of dangerous to agree. It's not something terrible, but it could be fatal. My engine just cuts off if I let off the gas at a high RPM. It doesn't happen all the time. It happens maybe like 5% of the times. And sometimes when it does do it, it acts up a little bit more. So I definitely need this ECU flash. I don't think it has anything to do with my slip-on exhaust, because I had my slip-on exhaust on there for a while before it started doing that. Let me know if any of y'all's guys' bikes started doing that. You'd be revving it and it would just cut off. It starts right back up. You got to go back down to first gear. So if you're on the highway trying to split lanes and you're maneuvering, making a move around a car and squeezing between them, and all of a sudden your engine dies and you got to shift down and start your engine, that could, I don't know, it's just something that I think about. That's why I've been taking it very easy lately, guys. I ain't gonna lie. The fastest I normally go is about 130, and that's pretty fast for normal, but I still don't push this bike to where it can normally go. I have done some speed runs where I've gotten it up to 150, but I normally cruise around about 80 miles per hour to 90 to 95 miles per hour, sometimes 100. I feel like that's just comfortable for me. It doesn't feel like I'm going that fast, but anything faster, I feel like a bump could really throw this thing out of whack and get the speed wobbles, get the death wobbles, the tank slappers, all those three, they're all the same thing. But that's what I worry when it comes to that. So I've been taking it easy until I get my steering dampener. Like I said, more mods I want to do. I would really like to find some carbon pieces, fiber pieces for this black plastic right here. I think that's the ugliest part of this whole bike, is this plastic. I know it's picky as hell, but that's just how I feel. As y'all boys can see, I'm rocking the Spadesi, what is it, the straw, I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it's Spadesi carbon fiber. I think I paid $400 for it. Definitely expensive, but it's definitely comfortable. Sadly, I honestly just dropped it once and it made a solid hit on the ground, so I think I may be needing a new helmet. I haven't even had that helmet for the whole season. So my bike is definitely not as flashy and moddy as I thought it was going to be when I first imagined it. I thought I was going to throw a lot of color onto this thing, but that hasn't been the case. I've been actually adding more black onto it. The only color that I have added are these bar ends. That's when I very first got it, and I thought I was going to do some like gold and red, like maroonish purple on it. And I don't know, I'm trying to just go for a more stealthier look. I was trying to stand out from the crowd and have a different bike, but sometimes that stuff ends up looking really tacky, in my opinion. So I'm gonna be keeping it clean. And I've been wanting to discuss this, guys. Sorry it's a little bit late into the video, but I've definitely been considering getting 1000cc. I don't plan on trading this bike. I really would like to keep this bike and the 1000. Some people might say, why do you need 2 sports bikes? And you definitely don't. But man, this is like a milestone in my life right here. That might sound a little bit too prideful of me, but this is something I worked really hard to get. My first one got stolen from me. I literally spent 4 years paying off a stolen bike. It got stolen within the first 6 months. And then so I paid that bike off. I paid this bike off. It's just something that I can be proud of. I look back and I know I own this thing. But at the end of the day, I think I am ready for 1000. And not to say that I've outgrown this bike, because I think people that say they outgrown 600s are kind of, I'm not saying they're stupid or anything or doubting their talent levels, but these things have more than enough power for the street. And honestly, I think 1000 cc's are just better for the street in general. Well, damn, I'm gonna have to do a voiceover on this part because I messed up and had my finger over the microphone hole. So I'll just talk to you from here. We'll do a little screen over. So what I was saying about the 1000cc bikes versus the 600cc bikes, and why I think the 1000cc's are better for the street and the 600s could be better for the track, and is usually vice versa. People only say, a lot of people think 1000cc riders are stupid because they're not pushing them to their full limits and and they're supposed to be only used for the track. I think it's the opposite. I think 600 bikes are better for the track. You can rip them open a lot better. You can smack through all the gears and really open it up. It's easier to handle than a 1000cc. Thousands are a little bit heavier. 600s, you can usually whip them around a little bit better, and they might not be able to beat a 1000cc on a straightaway, but they could definitely pass one. They could definitely keep up with one in the curves and possibly pass one, depending on the rider. And I just think a 600 fits more on a track depending on your talent level than a 1000cc would. And back to why I think 1000 is better for the streets is just for a couple of obvious reasons, in my opinion, which I don't know why other people don't see it. One is the rider aids. You have a lot of things that come on these 1000cc bikes that the 600s don't get. The technology, they usually get better brakes. They usually get, of course, better engines. You can just drop it down in any gear, and you don't have to drop it down. That's the thing with the 1000s. You don't have to drop it down. You can pretty much open it up in any gear and get out of any situation that's in your hand. Unlike 600s, you will have to drop a gear down a couple of times if you're on the highway to find that sweet spot and punch off. That's not necessary with the 1000 so much. You can still do it, but you really don't have to. The other thing is it comes with better safety features like steering stabilizers. All 1000cc bikes come standard with steering stabilizers instead of going to have to buy and spend $600 to $800 on a steering stabilizer for your 600. That's another great plus thing. I know that Suzuki's come with steering stabilizers factory, and I believe Honda might. I'm not guaranteed on that for sure. I think somebody told me that, but I know Yamaha's and Kawasaki's do not come with steering stabilizers, and that's just a big disappointment. I think that's a common sense thing for these companies. Should 100% be putting steering stabilizers on these bikes from the factory. And another excuse for the 1000s to be better for the streets, along with the technology, is you get what's it called? A cruise control. Cruise control is a great thing to have on these bikes when you're hunched over and you got all your weight on your wrist after a long time. You're doing long road trips. You know how nice it would be just to take a chill and not lose your momentum for taking a break and just kick back. Not everybody can drive no hands, and I don't think you should, but I ride from Houston, Texas to Austin, Texas quite a bit on my motorcycles, and to have that luxury would be great. You also get, along with the technology, is you usually get better screens and dashboards. Now, with these new bikes, I think we're in the day and age, or I've made this argument before, where all these bikes should be having TFT displays at this point. But as you can see, my bike is a 2021. They just released the 2023s. They don't have TFTs. Hopefully this next generation, I believe, will have a TFT display, considering the 650 has a TFT display, and the 1000cc now has a TFT display for Kawasaki. So that's just another thing you get. The bikes that I'm considering getting, obviously, is the ZX6r. The 2021 though, I really want the 2021 in that all black. I'm not digging these new colorways they came out with in 2022 and 2023. They didn't switch them up at all between those years. That red just doesn't look good to me, and I am not a fan of the KRT. The red looks better on the 600s than the 1000s, but that's besides the point. I'm getting off track. Let's get back to the video. And wait, hold up. And I want a Hayabusa or a R1. Who knows? We'll see which one I'll get. But yeah, I don't know if I would get that ZX6r. I would like to switch it up from Kawasaki. I'm not saying I got any problems with Kawasaki, but the Yamaha R1 fits me like a glove. I got on that bike and sat on it. It was just very comfortable. Lots of people say it's hiked up and all that stuff, which it is, but for some reason it fits me in my preference. It just felt nice. I didn't get to test drive it. I only got to just sit on it at the showroom floor, but it felt good. I remember when I first got on bikes, it was very intimidating to sit on those. Like, I felt like I could have just hit the brakes and my head would have been flying over the handlebars anytime. Just felt very leaned over. But now I've been riding bikes for a minute, it's a comfortable feeling for sure. And another option is the Hayabusa, just because it's an all-around comfortable bike. It's got just the smoothest gears. It's just a grand touring bike, and that's really what I do a lot of my rides on, is the highways. I like going back and forth between Houston and Austin a lot, and that would just be something that would be nice as a Hayabusa. I think they're ugly as hell, but the 2022s I think they came out with, the new generations at least, whatever, they look better. They definitely look better, but I'm still not the craziest fan of them. I like the electronics, I like the cruise control. The ZX6r also offers cruise control, which is a thing, but I haven't been able to find that bike in the 2021 color scheme. That's the only color scheme I seem to like it in. And I've sat on that bike on the dealership, and it wasn't comfortable for me as much as I wanted that bike. Every time I sat on it on the showroom floor, the ZX6r, it was uncomfortable. Man, these dudes in their little squatted trucks out here with their straight pipes exhaust, with their piece of shit Chevys. Sorry if that's y'all in the audience, if that's one of you guys. I didn't mean to trigger anyone. But yeah, guys, so I think I'm about to get on and get our ride going. Hopefully y'all can hear me good between all this. So I'm definitely not trying to sell this bike anytime soon. I plan on keeping it. I plan on getting the ECU flash still. I know I've been saying that. I just got so many hobbies between the SE bikes, between the just day-to-day bills, guys. I'm not nothing rich, dude. I'm not a rich guy. I work. I don't even want to say how much I make a year, but it ain't nothing special, guys. It really isn't, man. Any of y'all boys out there dreaming about getting a bike, you can do it. I promise you can do it. Just take your time and just realize it does not happen overnight. It doesn't. As bad as you want the bike and as bad as you do, take the advice from people. Get the help that you can. If you don't have any help, just pray the Lord, you know, the God got you. That's all I could thank. That's all I give my praise to, is the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And he's helped me do the things that I've accomplished. And I know the younger self, if I see myself in elementary, I'm not to the point where I am in life where I want to be right now, but I think the younger juice box too would be happy, man. I think he would be. So to all y'all guys, I hope y'all out there riding safe. We out here downtown. Y'all boys want to come right out here in Houston, Texas, you know where to find me. Hit me up. Peace. Be safe.